Hello YouTube, Dave here again. I am back with another flip mat opening. So in the past I've said that Dungeon Master screens or Game Master screens are some of my favorite accessories to collect, and that's always been sort of true. Not so much for the usefulness of the information on them, but basically just for the artwork, and it's always kind of cool to have a screen that you can have connected thematically to the adventure that you're running. So that's one of the reasons that I kind of like those. That said, I am really rapidly becoming a major fan of the Pathfinder and Starfinder flip mats. I've done several videos for them in the past, and they're definitely shooting up the rankings, so to speak, in terms of what my favorite accessories are. And honestly, I really do see them sort of taking over as my favorite thing to collect. I think that these things are absolutely fantastic, and I have mentioned before how I much prefer these to even the D&D Adventure Grid, which is useful and decent in its own right, but where it's got the cardstock glued on and it's folded in such a way that they had to cut the board 2/3 of the way up, I always feel nervous when I go to unfold it or do something like flip it over. And with these Pathfinder or Starfinder flip mats, I don't feel that sort of sense of trepidation. I have no problem throwing several of these in my backpack. Well, I mean, gently placing them because I couldn't bring myself to actually throw them, but actually carrying several around with me, and just really enjoy these. So I had recently done my video on my Pathfinder collection, and I had the playtest flip mat multi-pack, and I said I wanted to try to get more of the Pathfinder flip mats. Well, I went to Giant Robot Comics here in Dartmouth the other day, and they had a couple of these in stock, and this is Pathfinder Flip Mat Classics. So this is essentially a reprint of some of the earlier ones that they did that I guess were some of the more popular or well-received versions. So this is the Ancient Dungeon, and I immediately have a use for this, and I can't wait to do that. I'm not going to spoil anything here, simply because I don't have everything fully planned out yet, but I know exactly what I want to do. So the size of this is a 24-inch by 30-inch mat, 1-inch squares on each side, and the thing here says, Dungeon Delve. Descend into forgotten ruins with Pathfinder Flip Mat Classics, Ancient Dungeon. This durable flip mat provides 2 ready-to-use maps on which adventurers can explore monster-filled chambers and deadly trap-choked corridors. Prepare for a dungeon delve of epic proportions with Pathfinder Flip Mat Classics Ancient Dungeon. Then it just has a little thing here on Flip Mat Classics. The most popular Pathfinder flip mats in history return. These fan-favorite maps feature a versatile adventure setting, city streets, forests, ships, taverns, and more. And now they're back for a repeat performance. Durable and lavishly detailed, these essential adventure set pieces are sure to bring excitement to your game table for years to come. And like all of their other ones, you can use wet erase or dry erase markers, or you can even put permanent marker on there. To get rid of the permanent marker, all you have to do is rub some dry erase marker over top of it, wait a few seconds, and then it should be able to wipe off with a towel. One of these days I actually want to test that on video, but as it stands right now we don't have any permanent markers that aren't pretty dried out, so it's something to look for in the future. So at some point I'll do that. You also have a little preview of what the maps look like on the back here, but let's go ahead and actually open this up. Now normally I do try to preserve the plastic to put the map back into, just to make it a little easier to put on the shelf and not have to worry about it like the paper sleeve sort of coming off or being folded or bent or anything like that. But with this one here, the casing is just a little bit too big, so I don't think it would go in there very easily. So I'm just going to say the heck with it and just sort of tear it off here. I tried to sort of start it already, put a cut into the plastic, so hopefully it won't be too difficult to actually get this off of here. And then watch it take like 10 minutes. There we go. Alright. There is also something kind of satisfying about tearing plastic off of these things. I'm not going to lie about that either. So here we have just, again, the sleeve covering it. It did get a little bit bent. It looks like they made it almost to the point where it should have been like an envelope. because it almost acts in that fashion. But again, that's okay. I actually might like this a little bit better because where it's already curved in, when I go to slide it on a shelf, it should make it less likely to actually catch on something. So hopefully that'll work out. So just the inside of the cover is just blank, like most of them. It's just a map, so there's no need for open gaming license or anything like that. And here we go. Let's just slide the camera back as far as I can. And I love these things, and having like a complete dungeon, it makes things so much easier. Because I can just worry about like making some encounters, doing some things like that. And like I said, I already have a plan for how I want to use this. The only thing with these is just getting them to lay flat, but it's something that you can do easily enough. I mean, most people have books, so like when I use these maps, players just sort of put some of their books or heavy objects like cell phones or stuff like that to hold things down. But here we go. Let's just have a look here. And like I said, this is actually a pretty big map. So you got your entryway here, with obviously looks like some columns that are toppled over, statuary. You have some moss. It looks like sort of grown there. Really like that. And then you have your main entryways, but you have your side stuff as well. And again, this is just going to be so useful. And this is one of the things that I love about these flip mats. And I say it pretty much every time, and I'm hoping it's not getting too redundant. But these things can, just looking at them, can spark your imagination. And that's one of the things that, again, I just really genuinely love about them. So this one here also has, looks like some pools of multicolored liquid. So I can't wait to have a little fun with that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to try to make it something that is crucial to accomplishing what needs to be done when I send the players into here, or just have them have random effects, because that would be kind of fun as well. And then you have what looks like a shrine here to some sort of ancient tentacle monster, which is always cool. And there's just some nice details here. So let's just zoom in on this a little bit. So you got like engravings on the floor. It's just like a lot of attention to detail really went into these maps. And to me, that's just something that's really incredible. And like I said, these flip mats that Paizo puts out, in my opinion, are nothing but top quality. Even if some of the images may be not quite what you'd expect, they're still useful for a lot of things here. So let's just sort of zoom that, or not zoom out, but let's just adjust the camera, and let's flip this over to the second level of the dungeon. All right, so you've got your stairs that come down from the top level, and you just got some, looks like some natural cavern here, which is pretty cool. I can definitely make some use of that. And then we have this large circular chamber. And again, I think this is really cool, and I already have a plan of how I want to use this room in particular and how I plan on having it sort of guarded. But these things are just, again, really awesome. So that is the Pathfinder Flip Mats Classics Ancient Dungeon. So I'm really looking to collect a bunch more of these. I would love to get the basic battlefield for the Pathfinder game as well. And even like the basic, I'm sure they have like a basic dungeon one which just has blank squares on it that you can draw stuff in on. So those are also on my list to look out for. They also, at Giant Robot, they also had one that was a desert setting one. And that map looked really cool as well. So that's something that, if it's still there when I have a bit more funds, I'll probably try to pick that one up too. I want to collect as many of these as I can, because like I said, these are quickly becoming some of my favorite things to have. And they're great for improvised or impromptu games. If you're not quite sure what you want to do, then you can just pull one of these off your shelves and stock it with some monsters. Put some treasure in there, and you're good to go, just for like an off-the-shelf impromptu game. So anyway, yeah, so that's my video on this. Love these products. Love this one in particular, because this is going to get some pretty much immediate use. And it's just fantastic. Again, the details are absolutely wonderful on this. So if you guys have the original version, or even if you collect the classics versions, let me know what you guys think of these in the comments below. And for all the Pathfinder fans out there, what other maps, flip maps, are there out there that might be really worth looking to pick up? So if you have a collection of them, let me know what some of your favorites are, and I'll see what I can do to try to acquire some of those. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Take care.